I'm Fredo Cervantes. Today is Thursday, February the 2nd, 2023, and these are the breaks.
These
are
the breaks.
You
know what it is.
Welcome back here on These Are the Breaks. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and it is time to start with the NFL breakdown. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we had breaking news again and again by Mr. Tom Brady. Of course, this time, when I heard the news, if you guys already know, Tom Brady announces retirement again for the second time in the last 365 days or so. And we want to go ahead and kind of keep count on it. But yes, Tom Brady announced his retirement from the NFL. Am I excited? No. I mean, do I want him to stay? No. I mean, was he playing bad this past year? Yes. It's time to pack up the bags. I honestly believe that Tom Brady kind of grew out of the NFL. I mean, we saw that the type of player that he's been over the past 24 years, he's been a top-tier talent. But looking at the quarterbacks we have now, like a Patrick Mahomes, a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen, a Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, guys like those they're coming into the league, then they're pushing these people around like, Peyton Manning left kind of early. Eli Manning kind of had an awful getaway. Phillip Rivers kind of went up and down in the last 2 years. You have certain guys that just were part of that football era, that mid-2000s, that early 2000s, And Tom Brady finally said his goodbye after, going through a difficult divorce right now at the current moment, which a lot of people thought that, hey, maybe he's going to leave his wife to go play some more football. That's not what he wants to do. He wants to spend some time with his kids. He wants to go to the football games, to the baseball games, and maybe go meet another female because he is a single man. So Tom Brady is not looking forward into playing football, but he is looking forward into talking about football because he is on the verge of signing a major contract worth over $300 million to talk Fox Sports football. Every single Sunday, you might be looking at Mr. Tom Brady talking on Fox Sports because I saw a crazy number. Let me throw this number out there for you. Tom Brady played for almost 20 plus years. 20 plus years. And during those 20 plus some years, he got paid a little over $300 million combined. So 20 some years worth of football, including 7 Super Bowl rings, got him only a little over $300 million. At the end of his career, he is signing a contract worth larger than what he got paid originally playing football. So with that being said, is broadcasting the job to go afterwards? Because it seems like for every athlete, it counts on every sport. Every athlete has a very good chance at chasing a career in broadcasting after their playing days. Tom Brady decided to get his pay cut and kind of head to the valley because who knows? Fox Sports is stationed out here in Los Angeles. Is Tom Brady going to live in Los Angeles? Maybe so. Maybe so. Are we finally going to be able to get a chance to see Skip Bayless and Mr. Tom Brady together on the same show? That might be a possibility because Skip Bayless does belong to Fox Sports, and now it seems like Tom Brady will also belong to Fox Sports. But with that being said, there was another gentleman that took a year off and was on Fox Sports over this past season, which was former head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton, who has been openly talking about his next job, how interested he is, how he's itching to get back to coaching. It seemed like the Chargers were on the verge and maybe possibly bringing Sean Payton after the ugly, most horrific playoff game that the Chargers will ever be in the devastating loss to Jacksonville. After that game, everyone thought, well, hey, Sean Payton is coming to Los Angeles. And that's not what Tom Telesco of the Chargers GM said. He said, no, we're keeping Brandon Staley, and we're going to move on from Mr. Sean Payton. Sean Payton decided to be like, hey, you know what? Screw you. I bought a house in Manhattan Beach, and now you're telling me I got to sell my house to go live in Denver, Colorado, where it's cold, and you got Russell Wilson? I don't know what crossed Sean Payton's mind. I know what crossed the New Orleans Saints' mind. Hey, I got multiple first-round picks for Sean Payton, a guy who has not even been in this facility over the past year or so. Yeah, the New Orleans Saints are happy right now. They got draft picks, first-rounders coming in about a month. But the Denver Broncos got a broken-down quarterback who was crying all year long last year. And talking about the Broncos, because I am talking about the Broncos and the new head coach, but I heard an interesting story this morning on Russell Wilson. He had certain incentives in his contract, which is it's crazy. So if, for example, let's say I'm here at Infinity Studios. Let's say I'm Russell Wilson. Infinity Studios is the Denver Broncos organization. And I come to ownership here and I say, hey, you know what? That parking spot right there that used to be that person's, that's my spot. That house, I need my house about 5 minutes away from the facility. When my wife has a concert, I got to fly out to the concert. I'll be out of practice. Those were the type of activities and actions that were going on with Russell Wilson last year. You know, so with that being said, Keyshawn Johnson, who knows Sean Payton very well, said this morning, hey, Sean Payton doesn't play no games. This is like Bill Parcells. This is that type of coaching from back in the 90s that he's going to be dealing with. So is Sean Payton going to really get something out of Russell Wilson this year? Can Russell Wilson commit to playing football? Because last season, he committed to playing maybe foosball, something like that, because it technically and definitely was not football for Russell Wilson. The Denver Broncos were one of the most embarrassing teams to watch that season. One of the most embarrassing teams. But this season might be one of the most interesting teams to watch this season. So hopefully, if HBO Hard Knocks are looking for a team still, I'm not sure if they already locked in on one team. If I was Hard Knocks, I'll go towards the Denver Broncos. I want to be in the Denver Bronco locker room and see everything that's going in and day out with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, because that relationship is going to be interesting. And it's definitely going to be interesting for me because that's part of the AFC West. So that's going to be a very interesting showdown. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs. Talking about the Chiefs, it is Super Bowl coming up in about 10 days, live from Phoenix, Arizona. We got the Super Bowl AFC champions in the Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom. And we got Fly Eagles Fly coming from the NFC West over there. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts against Patrick Mahomes. That is going to be a matchup to remember. And the reason why I say a matchup to remember, because this is when Patrick Mahomes is going to be excellent. He's going to be amazing. You are going to watch this Super Bowl game. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to watch the Super Bowl to watch goddamn Rihanna, because nobody is going to tune in to watch the Super Bowl just for Rihanna. You know, because that's the time that you tune out. You maybe change the channel. You maybe go to the restaurant, go get some food. You know, if you're having a Super Bowl party, because that halftime show is going to be ridiculous. But about that first half, it's going to be all about Patrick Mahomes. There are a few interesting tips that I'm going to share with you right now, but I do want to get more into the thoughts about Patrick Mahomes. It's about making money, because for all you people that know out there, you know that I'm all about making money. Money Mike knows that I'm all about making money and making the right calls. I will let you know there is a lot of player props. There is a lot of game props. There is a lot of over and unders for the Super Bowl in order for you to make some money. Right now, if you lock in anything right now, The Kansas City Chiefs are not favorite. That is just crazy for me to say. But the reason why I say the Kansas City Chiefs should be favored because of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. That is a duo like Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. Those two guys, you just know that they're going to connect either or. With that being said, I just said either way, they're going to connect for a touchdown. Right now, Travis Kelce is a plus 500 to catch one touchdown ball in the Super Bowl. So if you go out there, you put $100 down on Travis Kelce to go ahead and get one touchdown, you're walking out with $500. So make sure you make some right picks out there because it is only gonna make you richer if you listen to me. All right. So put some money down on Travis Kelce to get one touchdown. There is another guy that looks and goes by the name of Juju Smith-Schuster. That Juju, man, he's going to be busting out some Juju out there on the Philadelphia Eagles defense because the defense from the Eagles definitely is going to be some very, very tough work to play against because that defensive line, you're looking at 3 future Hall of Famers in the Philadelphia Eagles line. So it is going to be a tough running game for the Kansas City Chiefs. But that only means that the ball is going to be flying in the air. One key thing that Kansas City got to look out for is the turnover ratio. They turn over the ball like they don't give a F. Why do I say that? Because Patrick Mahomes, he improvises so much out there. He's shuffling passes, throwing it behind his back, no-look passes. That's the type of man that has no fear at all. Especially this being his 3rd Super Bowl appearance, being 1-for-1 in his last 2 appearances, losing to the greatest of all time that announced his retirement in Tom Brady a few years ago, but did beat the San Francisco 49ers about 4 years ago, so where he ended up winning his first Super Bowl ring. But with that being said, it's also another very exciting situation to look at when you look at Jason Kelce, the center of the Philadelphia Eagles, which is the younger brother of Travis Kelce, who is a tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs. So anytime you have like a family affair where you got one on one side and you got the other one on the other side, it always makes it interesting because I remember and I recall this a few years ago when the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl champion. You had, the Harbaugh brothers coaching against each other. Just imagine that. You have the 2 Harbaugh brothers facing each other in the Super Bowl. The Niners against the Ravens, that was an interesting matchup to see. But again, when we're trying to focus on the key things, on what is going to turn this Super Bowl around, what can make a difference, especially in Las Vegas, the money line right now is on the Philadelphia Eagles. They are favorites right now. Why? Because of the ankle and the high ankle sprain that Patrick Mahomes has been dealing with for the past 2 weeks after injuring it against the Jacksonville Jaguars. When we look at the ankle, we saw how he was able to move late in the 2nd, 3rd quarter. 4th quarter just seemed like he was walking on water. It just didn't even seem like nothing was bothering him. He was just throwing the ball, and he ended up winning the game with that late game-winning drive as usual. Because when I talk about game-winning drives for Patrick Mahomes, believe it or not, guys, I've witnessed 2 Patrick Mahomes game-winning drives after trailing by more than 2 scores in the 4th quarter under 5 minutes. If you're leading by 2 scores under 5 minutes in the 4th quarter against Patrick Mahomes, don't think it's done. Because I saw that happen twice at SoFi Stadium back-to-back years against the LA Chargers. But with that being said, as long as KC keeps control of the turnovers, they will win this game. Philadelphia, inexperienced, have not been in here specifically with that quarterback and that, offensive line, that coaching staff, because they were there a few years ago. They won with Nick Foles. They won with Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's now coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars. But those players are all gone. Coaching is all gone. It's a new team right now. Can Philly actually put up a battle? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, everything is going to ride on Jalen Hurts. I mean, this game itself is going to depend a lot on Jalen Hurts. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's been in the league for about 3 years. 3 years. Only lost one regular season game this season. Only lost one time. That was against the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football. With that being said, I mean, the strength of the defensive line of the Eagles might be a key factor, but is that going to be enough? Like, what's his name? Dominic Sue. He's out there right now. You got Trent Williams as well. So you got some great guys out there that would try to kind of pressure Mahomes, and I don't think that's going to be enough. Personally, I don't think so. But what I am going to give you right now, I'm going to give you my pick, and I technically already gave it to you. If you guys saw Monday Night Fredo, you saw that I was talking about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. But right now, I just see there's nothing you can do to bet against Patrick Mahomes. You just can't do that. You can't. This is like betting on LeBron when he was in Miami. You just cannot bet. He might lose. He might. But you just can't bet against him. All right? So with that being said, I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 27-17. 27-17, and I am taking the under on that game because the over and under is 50 right now, 50 points. I'm taking the under on that because I don't think they're going to get over that. But with that being said, I'm going to go into a quick commercial break. When we come back, all right, I'm going to give you the game of the week. There's going to be an interesting game of the week, and not just a game of the week, but a historical moment that's just right around the corner, that if you're alive to witness this, you might not be alive to witness the next one that beats Mr. LeBron James. But when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And we're back here on These Are the Breaks with myself, Fredo Cervantes. And now I'm going to go ahead and, tune it up a little bit. I'm going to give you the game of the week. This is a game that you are certainly going to want to sit down on a couch, go to a bar, go to a restaurant, go to a friend's house, whatever you want to do. But just make sure you don't miss this specific game. It's going to be taking place Tuesday night here in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com Arena as the Oklahoma City Thunder visit the Los Angeles Lakers. And you might be thinking, well, it's the Thunder. What's so special about that game? Well, that game is about 5 days away from us right now. And that is the date that is scheduled and projected for LeBron James to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the number 1 spot in the scoring list. That is going to be a moment that we are all going to remember, because I certainly remember the day that Kobe Bryant passed Michael Jordan. And I can recall Kobe Bryant was in Minnesota. He was in Minnesota and he passed the record. They stopped the game. It was a big old ceremony. And then, when LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant about a year ago, and, the day that LeBron passed Kobe in the all-time scoring list was the day before Kobe Bryant passed. So it was just a crazy moment. But now LeBron about to pass the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's going to be a moment that no one wants to miss. Of course, stay tuned because he is about 89 points away. LeBron James is 89 points away. He is facing tonight the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. So make sure you watch tonight and keep a track at how many points is LeBron James going to score against the Pacers. Then follow that game. They travel to New Orleans on Saturday afternoon. This is going to be a primetime game. ESPN picked this game up. They're going to put it up on the big screen, 3 o'clock p.m. 3 p.m., that will be 6 o'clock Eastern on Saturday afternoon in New Orleans. So let's say that LeBron goes for 40 on tonight. Let's say he goes for 40 tonight. That means that he is going to be 49 points short. So there is a chance that if LeBron wants to go nuts, he can maybe break that record on Saturday, but it's definitely not going to happen on Saturday because I don't think LeBron is going to go 40 and 49 or 45 and 45. So it's going to wait until Tuesday, which is the day that I'm shooting for. That is Oklahoma City Thunder and the Lakers at home. What a game that's going to be. But to kind of rewind a little bit into LeBron's career, into his brilliant career, it's been 20 years since LeBron got drafted into the NBA, coming out of, Akron, Ohio. But when you look at a talent like LeBron coming from that side of town, coming with so much pressure, being kind of labeled as the chosen one, he is technically still the chosen one right now because he's lived up to all expectations that he's had to kind of grow up with at the age of 16, 17, being on the cover of ESPN, Sports Illustrated, being supported by a single mom, So when you look at what LeBron had to go through, and especially everything he's done off the court with his business, his family, the school that he brought up in Akron, Ohio, the I Promise School. It is just incredible the things that LeBron has done off the court. So with that being said, we got to remember the great things that he's done on the court because, we can all remember one certain play about LeBron James. But there's always going to be that moment that you're always going to remember. And it sucks to be that one of the last moments I will always remember about Kobe Bryant will be, of course, the sad part about it. But at the same time, I remember that 60-point game, that last game of his career. It was just incredible. It sucks when I talk about Kobe Bryant because it just gets to me. But with that being said, Tuesday night, the ticket pricing is high. $455 at the lowest to go ahead and get into the nosebleeds at the Crypto.com arena. So anybody out there wants to witness history, it's going to cost you a pretty good penny. All right. So make sure everyone stays tuned for LeBron James to possibly break that record because I think it's going to happen that day. I certainly believe so. But with that being said, this is going to be the fast track lane, all right? This is going to be the fast track lane. This is going to be the NBA lane. This is where I'm going to give you a couple pointers. I'm going to give you 1, 2, and 3. What I'm going to give you first is going to be the NBA trade deadline. We're about a week and a half away from the NBA trade deadline. What's going to happen? Are the Lakers going to stay still? I certainly believe so, and as they should. They should not give away whatever draft picks they have for the future. Don't give away nothing like that. You keep the same roster you got, and you fight with what you got. Because at the end of the day, the Lakers still do have a chance when healthy, everyone combined. But there is one team. There is one team that needs to go all in order to have a shot at winning. Because I certainly believe they have a shot at winning. All right? That team I'm talking about is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are stocked to the limit. They're stocked up. When you look at Donovan Mitchell, what he's done to this organization over the last 3 months since he got to Cleveland, when you look at Jared Allen, You look at the Mobley brothers. You look at LeVert. I mean, they're just so talented down there that it makes you kind of think like there's no way this team cannot get through Milwaukee, who is now fully healthy. Drew Holiday keeps being out. Chris Middleton keeps being out. Giannis was out this past couple of games right now. He just returned to the court, but they're not all there. Brooklyn is not all there. Ben Simmons is just completely trash. You look at Miami. Miami's always there, not there. There, not there. Boston is the only team that will get in the way of Cleveland. If someone can take care of Boston, which I highly doubt it, Cleveland actually has a shot at winning it all, but they got to go all in. They need one key piece, and I certainly believe that key piece has to be a 3 or a 4. They got to get a 3 or a 4 in order to try to compete and have some guards and forwards that can take control of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That is very key, and maybe Kevin Durant if healthy upon the playoffs. But that is very interesting because that's who I think should overpay in the trade market. Cleveland, go all in because you got what it takes right now. You guys are riding. I didn't believe they were going to be that good. I certainly did not believe so. Even Sacramento's third seed in the West. I didn't believe Sacramento was going to be there. But De'Aaron Fox, incredible. Harrison Barnes, incredible. And give some credit, well, where credit is due to Mike Brown for being the head coach up there. He's done some incredible things out there. But talking about incredible things, let's just talk about breaking certain rules because there are certain people that like to break the rules, and I certainly want to, but not the way the Las Vegas Aces did it this past week as they signed the free agent in the making of this person got 3 championship rings. This person does not need to chase any more titles. But they are chasing one more to finalize their great career they've had, which is Candace Parker going to the Las Vegas Aces to team up with Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson. I mean, they have a squad like no other. But with that being said, another team took it another level. And they're like, whoa, okay, Vegas, you're going to do that? It's time for the Big Apple to do something. The Big Apple, the New York Liberty, went out and got the, oh my Lord, 5-time All-Star, 2-time WNBA champion in 6 years from the Seattle Storm, Breanna Stewart. Breanna Stewart has been with the Seattle Storm for the past 6 years, won 2 championships, wasn't close enough to winning the championship last season with Sue Bird being in her last finale season, which didn't make it. Sue left. So what does that mean? Breanna left. But Breanna did not just go anywhere. She went to the New York Liberty to team up with Sabrina. And when you look at the White Mambas, I want to call both of them the White Mambas because that's their nicknames. They were both the White Mambas. And now they're teaming up together. This reminds me this is like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown right now. You got 2 amazing forwards that can kind of have the similar play style. So New York Liberty really stepped up. You got to give some credit right there to the people in the Big Apple for making that move and bringing Breanna Stewart to the New York Liberty. Candace Parker to Las Vegas. But let's not forget about what's going down here in Hollywood. We got Shanae Ogwumike and Nneka Ogwumike, who just agreed to an extension with the Los Angeles Sparks earlier today. So with that being said, you got the core that the Sparks wanted to keep. You got Lexi Brown as well. So you got the Ogwumike sisters, and you got a new head coach. You got a new GM. You got a new front office. The Sparks are a whole new team this year. So let's go ahead and see what the WNBA is going to bring out this season because it's going to be incredible. With that being said, it is time to shut down the brakes. And I'm not going to break the camera right now, but what I am going to break is you. I'm going to break you with this last thought right now. All right? Someone mentioned to me, how can I be a fan of someone, then say I'm not a fan of them, and then wanting to come back. Can I be a fan that goes and comes back to the team? Can I be a fan? I think I can. I certainly think I can. Because I mentioned the reason why I'm not a supporter or a fan of the Lakers right now is because of Darvin Ham. The moment Darvin Ham gets fired at the end of this season, which I certainly believe that might be the case, I certainly should be back on the bandwagon like Mr. Money Mike wants to say. But I think I have the right to come back. Do I have the right to come back? You guys let me know right there in the comments below. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as well, follow us here at the Infinity Television Studios. We got everything going up. And as well, I want you guys to don't forget this. Don't forget this. Because if you forget, I'm going to get this paper and I'm going to throw it at you. All right? I'm going to throw it just like that. And I'm pretty sure you dodged it real quick. But don't forget, next Tuesday at 12 o'clock Pacific, we got the one and only Mike Cal Matthew hosting here on the breaks, all right? So don't miss that because we bring you the best action we possibly can on weekdays here at 12 o'clock on These Are the Breaks, all right? So don't forget that. With that being said, I'm out. That's it. It's all done. I'll see you guys next week on These Are the Breaks.